Heck? Can you hear me now? There we go. I was trying to figure out why none of my stuff was working. Breeze Nation, what's good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I literally have been sitting here going, my soundboard's not really reacting how I expected my soundboard to react. Why is this not working? Why is this not working? Why is this not working? And now it's working. So we're having a good time. The NBA draft lottery is here, and the Chicago Bulls with a 4.5% chance at the #1 overall pick. The hope is that this Bulls team will find its way to getting that #1 overall pick. But at the end of the day, where will the Bulls pick? Because there is still a chance that the Bulls can go back to 10, 11, 12, or 13. So there is a lot of suspense around this Chicago Bulls pick. And listen, the hope is, right, that you end up with a top 4 pick. The Bulls, like I said, with a 4.5% chance to get into that top 4 section. Realistically, that's where you feel like there's a lot of talent at, but I think that this is a draft that is going to have quite a bit of talent inside of it. And so even if you are at 9, even if you are at 15, where the Bulls have 2 picks, no matter what, right? Like, you still feel like there's a really good opportunity for the Chicago Bulls team to get some talent in the draft for new executive VP Bryson Graham. Now, at the end of the day, the best scenario would be come out of this with the top pick and you walk away with a guy like AJ DeBansta. But if you tell me there's a Darren Peterson, a Caleb Williams, Caleb Wilson. If we can get a Caleb Wilson and a Caleb Williams in the city, I'm hype. If you tell me there's a Caleb Wilson, if you tell me there's a Cam Boozer in that conversation, I think that is really an exciting moment for you as a Bulls fan. Hey, if you're in here right now, drop a C-Red in the chat. Big C-Red Nation in this mug, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push a button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Soo Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. All of the picks in attendance here for the draft lottery, because the combine is this week as well. I won't be having as much in-depth coverage on the combine because I'll be out in Denver, or I shouldn't say Denver. I'll be out in Boulder, Colorado, getting away from the entire world. But this would be a great way to send me off with a Chicago Bulls #1 overall pick. Now, here's the wild part about this, right? Realistically, there's a lot of opportunity for teams that are, you would be very surprised and probably a little annoyed if they came away with the pick, right? The Oklahoma City Thunder have a 1.5% chance to win the lottery. The Golden State Warriors still have a chance to win the lottery. The Miami Heat, who are a 43-win team this year, have a chance to win the lottery. So I think it is very interesting kind of seeing, who's going to end up with this pick at the end of the day. I do think that there's going to be a lot of reform to this draft lottery system next season. So that's going to be interesting to see. But until we get there, man, very excited to see what this Bulls team is going to do. Because here's the thing, right? They're going through a lot of these names. Kingston Fleming, you just saw Keaton Wagler name jump up there. Michael Brown Jr. Like, there's a lot of names that I think you can look at in this draft and say are very, very talented players. For me, I would rather of course, you'd rather have the top 4 guys, but I think, right, a name like Axel Landenberg is a very intriguing one based off of what we saw in the tournament from him. Maybe even some of the older names in this draft could be very interesting around the Chicago Bulls. Right, the bottom line is you want to find one of those guys who is going to give you an opportunity to build off not only what you already have, but also brings you something that maybe your team doesn't have in place already. And what the Bulls need most is size down low. Although I get it, right? Noah Essengate grew, excuse me, they said he grew from 6'9" to 7 feet tall. Maybe he's your center of the future. I don't know what any of the players are on this team or what any of the answers are on this team realistically. If you're talking about one of the best talents and one of the best changes, I should say, that has happened in this city, which is a brand new regime coming into town. So hopefully we'll find a way to get one of those top picks. Hopefully the lottery balls are in our favor. I'm not gonna lie to you, this feels like one of those seasons where, hey, if the Pope is out there, could you give us a shot? You know what I mean? If the Pope's got something special, could you give us a shot on this one? Because everyone else has gotten a first round pick, and I think the Bulls deserve one as well. Shout out to you guys. Swaggy McNolegs said, I've been waiting over a year to find out if the NBA gave the Bulls the pick. Biggs Nation said, going into this draft negative so that whatever happens impresses me. The Bulls end up with the 22nd overall pick no matter what. Oh, 15-9, that's not that bad. Yeah, I get you. Bro, there is a lot of I've changed. I tried to speak the positivity into it and say, hey, it's gonna happen for us this time, but I have been of the the old school PlayStation game, when the PlayStation game don't work and you don't know why this happens, because you try everything and then for some reason you go, man, I don't even care, bro, I don't even want to play this game no more, and then that must start working and you be like, yo, here we go, like that's kind of how I feel about the whole draft lottery right now. Like, I try to come at it with some positivity, but I get those people who are out there that are like, man, I don't even care. Hey, we in that mug, man. We'll see what ends up happening for the Bulls. Bottom line is there's talent everywhere. And you have to find a way to get to that talent, no matter what. Right? So either you're not prepared to go out there and get that guy, or you are. Like, I think every single draft that we have seen to this point, you can talk about and say, especially under AK, you can talk about and say there was someone in there that you wish you were able to get to that you didn't get to, right? Like, that's kind of the job of the new executive VP. Go find the answer. Don't bring me somebody who's not the answer. It doesn't matter if we had 4 and we came away with Patrick Williams, and we see the amount of talent that came out of that draft no matter what. You know what I mean? So I think it is a lot of that, where for me, I'm not as worried, I'm not as concerned. I look at it in the world of, if you can go out there and find you somebody who's going to complement what Josh Giddey does well, find you somebody who helps Modest become a better version of him, right? The coaching still plays a part in that. Like, at the end of the day, that's what matters. I don't care if we have 9, I don't care if we have 15. Your job is to find the answers. And if you can't find the answers, that's the fault of you. Baki said, what up, Pat? You know how I feel. The Bulls need to go to the shadow realm. Yeah, Baki's been out on the Bulls for a little while here. I'm not going to lie to you. Baki's been ready to do away with this Bulls team for some time here. So no surprise from Baki on that one. Would you take Yaxel over Wagler at 9? Because I think Modest can play the 3, I think it makes Keaton Wagler very interesting. Here's always my concern with just going and saying, we're going to just take the guard that's available, or the best talented guard, and hope for the best with that. Can he come in and play off ball? Does that fit his game? Because Keaton Wagler didn't spend much time off ball. Keaton Wagler had the ball in his hands a ton. right? In his time in Illinois, he wasn't the shooting guard. He was more of the point. He was more the guy setting things up. I mean, like there were times, especially when he was able to just go, where you just put the ball in his hands and you said, hey, you got to go, right? Like, can he adjust to that? If you feel that he can, then yeah, Keaton Wagler's a better fit for you, because next to Josh Giddey playing at the 2, you could put Modest at the 3. Noah fits in there somehow, hopefully. And, you know, maybe they still got $68 million in cap space to go out and spend. But if you look at Keaton and say, I don't think he's an off-ball player, and you see Yaxel, and yeah, it may be a little bit of a reach to take him at 9, but if you look at Yaxel and say Yaxel's a dang good player and he's an answer for what we need, nobody's going to look back at you, right? Like, nobody would sit here and tell you that Devin Vassell is the best player taken out of that draft, but you'd probably say, wow, Devin Vassell does a really good job and he plays his role extremely well. And if given more opportunity, we've seen what he can look like. I'm talking about the Patrick Williams draft, and, you know, that's still a good pick for you to get out of there. Like, that's kind of, if you're in that 9 range, right? Like, answers are good things to have. Yes, you want the ultimate answer. You want the best player out of that draft. And I would say you feel like you've gotten that out of the Modest draft, but the bottom line is you have to come away with the answers. And the thing that AK didn't do in any world is come away with any answers that were able to help the Bulls on the court. Dalen Terry, nothing. You know, like Patrick Williams, nothing. Like there's so many of those where there were obvious answers for what you needed. And maybe they didn't have as much upside, but the answer was there. And that, to me, I think is going to be the most important thing for the Chicago Bulls moving forward here. You know, if you're going to get an opportunity to start to climb in the standings and start to put together a good team, you have to find answers. Your hope is to find the superstar. But the reality is, if you find an answer, all of a sudden things are looking a little more positive, and maybe you can build off of that. And get Thibs back to why you at it. Absolutely not. Tom Thibodeau needs to be nowhere near this team. I think people just throw names out there and you know, names that made us feel good at a certain point, and don't actually take into account what bringing Tom Thibodeau back would mean, right? Like, if Tom Thibodeau comes back to the Chicago Bulls and your hope is to win an NBA championship with him, he would have to become the oldest head coach to ever win an NBA championship. He would have to overcome just about all the things about Thibs that at this point we know are answers, right? Like, Tom Thibodeau is a good coach that is going to take your team back to the playoffs and is going to help you to be much more competitive, and he is not going to win a ring. Right? Like, that's the bottom line. We know who he is, so there's no reason to sit here and try and rehash that, try and recreate what he isn't, hope for the best. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a reality. Yaxel and Modest would be good together. I think they would play off each other really well, especially with Giddey, especially setting things up. I think that's another thing you got to think about massively as well, right? Like, excuse me, the Bulls have a point guard that can make everyone around you better, right? So, like, I don't think, when I watch Noah Essegay's highlights and his tape from France, I don't think he's a very good player. I don't, right? I didn't have a ton of confidence in the pick yet last year. You hoped that he was going to be fine, right? Like, I think there's a conversation to be had around him being really good, but it feels like it's a longer conversation for you to get to than some of the players that were available to you, i.e. Derek Queen. But I haven't seen Noah Essengay play with Josh Giddey, and he might be one of those players where they go, hey, if you just run with him, he can get you 10 points. I'm pretty sure that is the kind of player that Giddey is, and we've seen that time and time again. So it is kind of like, hey, while I bro, that's Nick Collison. I swear I thought that was John Krasinski. That's hilarious, bro. And I thought that was Willem Dafoe. They had Larry Harris from Golden State. I'm sorry, I got distracted as they're doing the introductions here, bro. What the heck was that? But no, man, like the the real thing for me. Look at Tony. Look at Tony. Coach in the building. No, man, like I think that factors in a lot of, you know, who you're going to draft and what you hope to get there, because there's a lot of talent that might be much more talented with a true point guard that can get him the ball in the right position. Look at Tayshaun Prince repping Memphis. That's interesting. Vince Carter's in the building. All right, we got some heavy hitters in this mug. TJ McConnell. All right, what are we doing, Dub? The Pacers getting the #1 overall pick would not upset me. Washington would F it up, so. All right. Mark Tatum, don't screw us over, Tatum. Let's see what we got here. I'm expecting us to probably be right where we're at. The 14th pick in the draft is the Charlotte Hornets. All right. The 13th pick in the draft is the Miami Heat. The 12th pick in the draft is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay. So we didn't get unethical basketball, I guess, if you want to call it that. I think it's some good wheeling and dealing. The 11th pick in the draft is the Golden State Warriors. Willem Dafoe did not help them. 10th pick in the draft is the Milwaukee Bucks. So here's where I would expect the Bulls to slot into if all went normal. The 9th pick in the NBA draft is the Dallas Mavericks. We got a top 4 pick. Oh, we got a top 4 pick. Oh, we got a top 4 pick. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Oh, the Bulls got a top 4 pick. Oh! Memphis is in the top 4 with us as well. Oh my God! I fully thought we were getting 9. Utah's in the top 4. That checks out. Bro. The Clippers are 5th. Bro, we get to go star hunting. Oh my God. Are they finna go to commercial? I swear to God, if they go to commercial, it's finna piss me off. The Wizards being there makes sense. Oh my God. Oh my God, we got a top 4 pick. Bro. Oh my God. I'm in disbelief. I can't believe they just went to commercial. This is amazing. The Chicago Bulls have a chance at a #1 overall pick. I think that this could be, I mean, at a minimum, right? You're living in the world now where you could talk about Caleb Williams, Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson, Cam Boozer. You could talk about AJ DeBansta. You could talk about Darren Peterson, and Darren Peterson may be a bigger conversation than people think. Just being in the top 4, there's a lot of people that looked at Derek Peterson and were like, hey, bro, like the fact that you didn't show up for your team, I'm not here for that. But if there was talent, if you're talking about talent, he's got all the talent in the world. Oh my God, I can't believe we got a top 4 pick. Let's go. Let's go. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Let's go. Drop C-Reds in the chat. I need C-Reds in the chat. Oh, wow. I mean, you can have a lot of really good conversations on this now. Everybody texted me now. Everybody is blowing me up now. Wow. Wow. What a great day. Let me send this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We got a top 5 pick. Top 4 pick. I gotta try and see if JC like, well, if we get in the top 4, I'll jump on. No, you gotta be here for the ride, JC. You gotta be here for the ride, brother. How about if we get a top 4 pick, I'll jump on. This is massive. I mean, we're just waiting now, but this is massive because now you get an opportunity to go after the kind of player and maybe fix some of the issues that you have, but go after the kind of player that can be a game-changing player. Because here's the reality of it. Top 4, if you are 4 and 15, you have the capital to get even higher if you want to go after a different player. I mean, this is exactly what you hope for. This is exactly the scenario that is so advantageous to the Bulls. Now, do I think you can get the number 1 overall pick for 4 and 15? No, like I'm not an idiot with it either, but like you've got the capital to go out there and say, if there's a big fish out there that you want to guarantee that you get, you can move up to get them. Or you stand pat with one of these top 4 players and you take another solid player at 15. And now you're talking about having a heck of a young team going into this next year. Like, bro, if you ain't dropped the C-Red, your mama. On Mama's Day, I'm saying that. If you ain't dropped the C-Red, your mama. Let's see. Let's see. So this is the order of the top 4. The 4th pick. Bulls are 4th. Bulls are 4th. The Bulls are 4th. That's still top 4. That's still good. Ah, one of the top 4. Ah. They just sit them in order? The Utah Jazz? Yeah. The Wizards got 1 again. But the Bulls are in the top 4. 4.5% chance to get into the top 4. You can get a really, really good player in the top 4. Oh, my God. I mean, you're living in a world of Caleb Wilson. You could be living in a world of Cam Boozer. Again, I said this, don't be surprised. You could be living in a world of Darren Peterson, depending on where guys fall. Depending on where guys fall. I don't think you're living in a world of AJ DeBansta. I think we pretty much know he's going to be going to the Washington Wizards He does not look thrilled about it at all. He does not look thrilled about it at all. But you're in a excellent spot heading into this draft. And just like, again, right, last time you took 4, you screwed it up. Hey, if you are Bryson Graham right now, you got pressure on your shoulders. You got some concerns around you. You've got some things that now I think in the reality of it, you got to look around and go, okay, don't do what the last guy did. Don't overthink this. Don't chase. There's obvious talent there that the Chicago Bulls can get. And you can come away with a game-changing player top 4. You can come away with a game-changing player top 4. Caleb Wilson or Cam Boozer. Caleb Wilson or Cam Boozer could be names there. Wagler, I don't know if Wagler sneaks into the top 5. I think that would be a little bit crazy. Super producer already coming in saying trade 4th and 15th. Depends on the name. Right? Realistically, if Darren Peterson falls to 3, I wouldn't be upset about that. If Darren Peterson falls to 3, I wouldn't be upset about that. If AJ DeBansta stays 1, I think all 3 of the other names are going to be very interchangeable as time goes on here. If you can find your way to get Darren Peterson, who I do believe is the best talent in the draft, you have to answer all of the other questions around him. You have to answer all the other questions that are, hey, what is this guy going to be on the court? Is he going to be somebody that's looking for time off? Is he going to be somebody that quits on the team? Because you're not living in this world where you've got a guy that is the load management guy. You don't want to draft that. Not the end of the world that the Bulls come away with 4, 1-1. Thought they might get it, but there's some really, really interesting talent in this. By the way, I saw a couple of people say Darius Acuff. Do not take Darius Acuff. Do not take Darius Acuff. Darius Acuff is on your team. In my world, in my mind, I don't believe that he shoots the ball well enough to be the height and weight that he is. I just don't. You would have to be an elite 3-point shooter because what is Acuff? Darius Acuff. I know he's 190. And they got him listed at 6'3". I would question that just about as much as I questioned Rob Dillingham being 6'3", 190. I mean, honestly, that's just, I am out on Acuff. I may be wrong on that. It may be he's the one that ends up being the star of this draft. But to me, I see that build, I see that body type, and I see the kind of players that, you know, have success at the NBA. If he can be that guy and shoot 44% from the 3-point line, then yeah, you have no qualms about it. You're not worried about it. But realistically, right now, sitting at 4, they're showing him on the TV right now. If the Bulls went out and got the North Carolina product, who has a name very similar to a number 1 overall pick in this city, who I watched body Cam Boozer. If you came away with a Caleb Wilson at 4, I'm running away very excited, especially knowing that you can still go out and get a Yaxel Landenberg 15 possibly. Or if he falls that far, a Keaton Wagler. Or not Keaton Wagler, I don't expect to be there. But there are names that are available to you. Having this second pick is so exciting. You might be able to get what's old boy Wagler's? Yeah, Wagler's. They got him 5th. Shout out to ESPN. I don't know about that. And I love Keaton. I don't know about that. But what's the big man from? Was he Michigan? Alex Mara, right? And isn't that Alex Mara? Would love to see Alex Mara if he's available to you at 15 in a Chicago Bulls uniform. But hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Your boy got to get to work. Got a lot to do today. Tap in with me on Chicago Sports Tonight. Tonight, I'll be on Fox enjoying that show. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Make sure that y'all stay tapped in with everything that we got going on here on the Windy City Breeze. And special announcement coming. Gonna start doing a lot more on Twitch. So stay tapped in with us for a couple of special announcements as well. As always, man, it is your boy Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. See Red Nation. Stand up! Oh, a little music. Oh, I ain't expect the music to play. Hey! See Red! Number 4! We at the door! All right, let me get the heck up out of here. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago.